Dear students, in this video we will discuss some of the questions that can be asked in board exams for ICSE Chemistry 2025. The chapter here is acid, bases and salts. Let's see few of the one words, that is name the following, that can be asked from this chapter. The property by which certain hydrated salt, when left exposed to atmosphere, will lose their water of crystallization and crumble into powder. This question has been asked in 2018 as well. So the property is efflorescence. That you will write is efflorescence. A compound which is insoluble in water and the only negative ions in the solution are hydroxide ions. So that compound is an alkali. Okay, an alkali, it is soluble in water, base which is soluble in water, and it only contains negative ion as hydroxyl ion. So here the answer will be alkali. Please see the first word, that is the question, and then you will feel easy to answer the questions. And you have to satisfy all the conditions that has been mentioned in name the following. An oxide which forms salts when react with both acids and alkalis. So that oxide is termed as amphoteric oxide, and even you can quote one example in the bracket, that is aluminium oxide or lead oxide or zinc oxide. An acid used in food preservation, that is citric acid. The insoluble solid formed when two solutions are mixed together, that is precipitate. So here answer number 5 is precipitate. An acidic solution in which there is only partial ionization of the solute molecules. So here partial ionization means you have to name a weak acidic solution. An acidic solution, that is a weak acid you have to mention. So you can write a weak acidic solution, that is acetic acid solution. A crystalline salt which does not contain water of crystallization. This is an exception. All the crystalline salts contain WOC. So a crystalline salt which does not contain WOC is NaCl, sodium chloride. An acid used for eye wash, that is boric acid. A salt which is formed by complete neutralization of a base by an acid, that is a normal salt. Two bases which are not alkalis, you can write any two bases which are not soluble in water. You can write calcium hydroxide or lead hydroxide, that is lead oxide and calcium oxide, because they are not soluble in water. A normal salt and an acidic salt of the same acid, that is, you can write sodium sulfate and sodium bisulfate. Sodium sulfate is normal and sodium bisulfate is an acidic salt. A salt insoluble in cold water but is soluble in hot water, that is also a very frequently asked question, that is lead chloride. A salt containing a metal ion surrounded by other ions or molecules. So here you have to mention ionic salt, that is, you can write NaCl. An acidic salt found in health salts, that is, okay, so an acid salt found in health salts, you can here write sodium bicarbonate, okay, or sodium bisulfate, you can also write. The substances present in lemon which is chiefly responsible for its sour taste is citric acid, that is an acid which imparts it a sour taste. An oxide of a metal which has amphoteric character, so you can write among the three, lead oxide, zinc oxide, aluminium oxide. A deliquescent salt formed by direct combination of a metal and acidic gas, that is iron and chlorine, so that will give you ferric chloride, FeCl3. A salt which on hydrolysis gives a solution which is neutral in nature, so that you have learnt in the hydrolysis of salts, so that is NaCl, you can write here. An alkali which is deliquescent in nature, you can write NaOH, KOH. A salt whose molecules contain a fixed number of water molecules, that is a hydrated salt. You can give one example of hydrated salt like washing soda. A complex salt containing a simple ion potassium, that is potassium mercuric iodide or Nessler's reagent. A basic oxide which is soluble in water, you can write sodium oxide. A basic oxide insoluble in water, calcium oxide. A basic oxide or barium oxide, okay, any oxide which is not soluble in water, you can write. A base which does not contain a metal ion, that is ammonium hydroxide. A salt containing a metal ion surrounded, this question has been repeated. A base which is insoluble in water, which is soluble in water, that is an alkali, you have to mention an alkali, you can write NaOH, KOH. A salt or ammonium hydroxide. A salt formed by incomplete neutralization of an acid by a base, that is an acidic salt, you can quote any one example of an acidic salt. a definite number of water molecules bound to some salts, that is WOC, water of crystallization, the process in which substance absorbs moisture from the atmosphere to become moist and ultimately dissolves in the absorbed water, that is deliquescence, and the acid present in vinegar is the acetic acid. Out of these, you can see few questions has been asked in various years, 2008, 18, 13. Here also this is asked in 2013 and 13, and last question was asked in 2014. So several questions have been covered from it. In the next video, we'll discuss some more questions from this chapter.